Hey guys, what's up? It's Jimmy G, it's your boy from Craving Strange, and I am hanging out at our studio. I was asking people what they would like to see in our YouTube page is rig rundown. What? We're not on some huge tour, so we can't have some dude with a microphone walking through our guitars and our lineups of amps and all that stuff. We don't have any of that. Right now, we're not even able to play shows because we are kind of quarantined. Stuck inside. As you can see, I'm by myself. So, yeah, I don't have scripts. I don't have any of that kind of stuff. So I'm just kind of winging it and running through this to see how we do. I'll try and edit it. Maybe you'll never see this. Maybe you will. I don't know. We'll see. One thing people did want to know is what kind of stuff we're using. So I thought I would run through a couple of my things just so, you know, we could kind of get a start on it. As far as guitars, I've got my 3 major guitars that I use for recording and that I am using on tour, shows, stuff like that once we start getting back into them. So first off, Gibson Les Paul Gothic. It was made in around 2000. A satin black body. It's a mahogany, maple top, ebony fretboard. They have the 12th fret moon and star. I don't have the stock pickups in there. I do have my stock 490, I believe the R, which is in the neck position. It did come with a 490R and a 490T, which is pretty much Gibson's standard pickups. But I replaced mine with a, I believe it's a Lily Fralin. It is a P90 in a humbucker body. For you guys out there that are interested in that stuff, I don't actually know the model number, sorry, I guess I should have looked that up, but I always dug the guitar sound of Social Distortion. Mike Ness always had one of my favorite guitar sounds. He uses P90s, it's like a big single coil, but it sounds mean. I always figure they sound very like, I don't know, like an angry person growling. Growly pickup. So I've been using that for years. I got the guitar, it was my first real guitar. I got it back in 2000. I had moved to New York already, and I was bringing my first guitar, which was a Kramer American. I had that with me. I didn't have a band yet, but I was really kind of like taking my career seriously and taking steps to be a guitar player, singer-songwriter, and I was actually surprised with this Les Paul. It was a gift from my parents, which was really cool because it was kind of like a, hey, we believe in you and we want you to have something really nice. So that was a Christmas gift that year. I was completely surprised and shocked by it. And I've had it ever since, and I will have it for the rest of my life. Looking at it, there are divots, there are scratches, there are chunks taken out of it everywhere. I'll kind of show little bits of everything, and that's my doing. We've got some stuff taken out of this. I used to wear studded bracelets. I used to bang the hell out of my guitar. I am not a guy that treats my guitars with the utmost care. Like I'm not hanging them on a wall. They're not art pieces. They are tools, and I use them. And I'm an aggressive player, and this is an aggressive guitar. Everything's destroyed on it. You can see all kinds of nicks and marks from me dropping it and smashing it into things. There's some marks on the headstock from doing the old cheers with my my bass player. You can tell I'm not much of a lead guy. Play a lot down here. Big chords, big areas. Lead guys, their guitars, the finish is taken off down here. You can see mine is pristine. Don't do a lot of solos. I also use couch guitar straps. This one is just a basic leather strap. They recycle old seat belts. Very cool company. I used to use strap locks, but I kept pulling them out of my guitars. I'd pull the whole strap pin out. The bottom pin of this, if you were to take a look at it, it was drilled in and filled in with like one of those blue things you put in the wall to hold your screws in the wall and stuff like that. It's one of those. I just find things and shove them in my guitar, and hopefully it stays.
Duh.
That's this one. It's my oldest. It's my favorite. Up next, what we have is the Hagstrom Ultra Max. The body is mahogany. It is also a single cutaway, much like a Les Paul shape. I just always like those shapes. You can see it's got a set neck. I'm not sure what the fretboard is made of. I don't think it's like a specific wood. I think it's probably some kind of newer material that they're using now that a lot of the woods that guitar makers have used, we can't import them as much. It's got the same scale length, 25.5. It's got that Les Paul type feel to it. It's a little bit smaller bodied than the Les Paul. I replaced the bridge with a roller bridge. Right. You can see I did the same on the Les Paul Gothic. I like roller bridges. They never bind. I'm never breaking strings. I never have to file them down. I never have to check for burrs. You know, they're just real easy. The cool thing about this guitar is that I found it at the NAMM show, the 2019 NAMM show. I played it in the booth. I really liked it. They were releasing it as a new guitar. I never really played Hagstroms before. And man, I picked it up and I just loved it. I really liked playing it. It felt great. I was trying to get in touch with the guys from Hagstrom for months. I mean, we exchanged information to find out when I could buy this, where I could buy this. I wasn't trying to get a free one or anything like that. You know, I just wanted to know when I could get it. No one ever got back to me. They're a company out of Sweden. What I did find, though, is I found one of these showed up on Reverb. I'm looking at the picture and man, it looked just like the one that I had played in NAMM. So I got in touch with the people selling it, and I was like, hey, this looks an awful lot like a guitar that I played. Did you happen to get this from the NAMM show? They got back to me, and they were like, yeah, we get all the Hagstroms from NAMM. We have a deal with them, and they send them to us after the show. And so I actually was able to find and get the exact guitar that I was playing at the NAMM show. I put up pictures of it. You can check our Instagram and you'll see pictures of me with this one and Frank with the Phantomen, which is kind of like a Firebird shape. It has individual volumes for the pickups, which I do on every single guitar I have. I just like being able to blend my pickups. I don't need two tone knobs. I'm not really a guy that uses a tone knob very often. I just keep it wide open. On the Les Paul, I just disengaged them both. I was going to put band-aids on there, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. I just clipped the wires on both of those, so I'm just using two volumes. On this one, I do have a tone. It does have a push-pull that I do not use to split the pickups, but it's got the two volumes, which is super helpful to me. The other thing I like that they did is they actually put the volume closest to your bridge pickup, which is the one I use most, is the volume that's there. A lot of places would put the top one to the top pickup, the second one to the second pickup. This one actually kind of made it so that I can control my volume while I'm playing, which is awesome. So that for me is a cool thing. My toggle switch is down here. Not crazy about that. I might move that up here at some point, but for right now, man, I love how this guitar sounds. I love how this guitar plays, and actually been using it in the recording studio, and it shows up more in the recordings than my other guitars do. Some songs really kind of speak to that like Les Paul vibe, the single coil pickup, the P90. But as a secondary guitar for rhythm tracks and stuff, this one just shows up on everything. So you'll hear it a lot. You'll see it a lot on stage. I don't know if I'm going to bring it out quite as much anymore. It's kind of transitioning into this recording guitar because I only bring two with me, and that leads me to my newest guitar, which is quickly becoming a favorite. All right, last but certainly not least, I have the Music Man Stingray. Whoa. It's a mahogany body. They called it Stealth Black, which made it kind of a cousin to my Les Paul. And if you notice, I don't really like shiny guitars, but man, I love black hardware, black guitars. It really kind of just like stood out to me. And I was able to get a Sweetwater credit card, which is the death of me. It'll be the last thing I ever pay. But yeah, I was able to actually go and tour Sweetwater. So while I was there, I got to check it out. And as soon as I played it, I was like, man, looks like I'm buying this. It is same scale as a Les Paul, so it plays remarkably similar to that. The body style obviously is very different. All right, so here we go. We've got our two pickups. I already had it rewired so that, yes, I've got two separate pickup volumes. I chucked the tone knob. I don't like it. I'm not into it. I got my toggle up here, my pickup selector, another couch strap. So is the one on the Hagstrom, sorry. I'm using my same D'Addario clip locks. Just a little plastic lock. They cost like $4. They lock. Strap's not coming off, right? Pretty awesome. I got those on. It's even got a little spot so I can throw my cable in there. Feels great. It's a little bit smaller neck than I'm used to, but I'm kind of quickly getting used to it. And again, man, sound-wise, it's just awesome, and look-wise, dude, I just think it's killer. I love it. A lot of fingerprints, you know, that's what happens. Again, I'm not shining my guitars up for YouTube to show you guys shiny guitars. I'm grabbing them and they have all the fingerprints on them and all the nicks and scratches on them and all the blood and sweat and whatever is on them because I play them. I play the shit out of them. So, yeah, just an amazing guitar. I guess our next big thing is going to be amps. I don't have any. Got rid of them. Got rid of all my amps. I discovered the Line 6 Helix. Yep, for all the tone guys out there that want to hear tubes, I was you. Checked out the Helix. Heard some people on stage playing it. Couldn't tell that they weren't using amps. I checked it out and was blown away. There's a bit of a learning curve, but it sounds so good. I'm recording with it. I'm playing with it. We're recording our record right now. Completely going direct. You'll be surprised because you'll be like, man, I could swear that was a Marshall in there. Because it sounds like a Marshall. One of the things I really love about the Helix is consistency. As a person who plays a lot of shows and toured a lot and is often going into places dealing with whatever kind of stage setup, mics, we're not touring with our own stuff and our own people and everything. We're just, you know, showing up. You're kind of at the mercy of your sound guy. I quickly realized that, like, man, nobody's ever heard my amp. You know, every time I plug my amp in, they're going to shove a mic in front of it, EQ it out front anyway, and the audience is going to hear whatever is EQ'd through that amp, through the speakers. Now, if there's someone standing right in front of the stage and your amp is blowing into their face, yeah, they're going to hear you, but they're going to hear only you. What I found is that being able to control what sound is going to come out of those speakers has made it easier for us to sound the same at every show. We're all using right now the Headrush 112 cabinet that we were using. So now I have a monitor right in front of me, pointed at me. It's the first time I think I've ever heard my guitar on stage because my amp was always over on the outside of Monty. So it was like my amp, Monty, drums, Frank, and then I'm standing in the middle. So I never heard my guitar. I just kind of hoped for the best. Dream. So now I'm hearing my guitar. My guitar's not too loud for anybody else. Everybody can have their own volume. Everybody hears what they need to hear. And soundmen don't have to fight with us on stage. They have a lot more control, and we have a lot more control over what our audience is hearing, which is the coolest part about it. I am very much an advocate for the Helix. Taking a look at what I've got, I just mounted it on this pedal board. If you notice, I have these big buttons on here, right? What they are is they're from a company out of Australia called Barefoot Buttons. They're super, super cool. I'm a singer, so I'm looking forward a lot. I can't always be staring down at my feet, and I do have to make changes. Not a whole lot, but I do have to make changes. Clean, dirty, more dirty, any effects that I want to use. And having the Barefoot Buttons has been awesome because I can go by feel. And they also don't mess with the lights on the Helix buttons. So the lights light up. The touch sensitivity is still there. So I can touch the side of it and I still have a lot of control. They've just been awesome. No matter what kind of boots or shoes or anything I'm wearing, I can just quickly glance and I can kind of see everything, and I have everything laid out. They're a super cool company, barefootbuttons.com. Definitely check them out. I definitely recommend it. They're a solution to a problem that you don't even know that you have until you get them, and then you're like, wow, it's way easier now. This is fantastic. And they look cool. So I'm totally down with that as well. I'm using the Shure GLX D16. What that is a wireless that is also a guitar tuner, which was super helpful when I was using a pedal board. I do have a tuner in the Helix, but I'm not going to go buy a new wireless, so I just kind of hooked this up, and it's awesome because everything is right on the floor, right at my feet. Everything I need, my whole system, my whole rig is now on the floor right in front of me, which gives us more space on stage and just gives me more control over everything. At a glance, I can quickly fix anything or change anything or see anything. Last thing, I guess, since I am a singer, right? My microphone, the one I've been using for years now. As you can see, it's disgusting. Yep, us singers are spitting into those mics all the time. And we're spitting into them with spit. I drink a lot of whiskey, so I'm spitting whiskey, which is like acid right on the front on my mic. So it's a company called Heil. It's called the Fin. It's a dynamic mic. I have a very clean, mid-rangey voice. It can have a tendency, if I'm using the wrong microphone, to sound trebly. You'll get a lot of pops, and it might feedback sometimes if I have a mic that's emphasizing highs. This mic is perfect for that. I used to use a Shure Super 55. This sounds very similar to that. I started out with a Shure Beta 58. I still have that mic as well. I bring both of those as backups in case anything happens. I'm one of those guys that has backups for almost everything. That's my rig rundown. I know this has been a little long. If this has been interesting at all, cool. If this has been not interesting at all, you're probably not still here. So I appreciate you watching. Thank you for checking out the channel. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. If you have any questions on anything, I'll answer there. Also, what are you guys using? Let me know. I'm always up for looking at gear and checking stuff out. Maybe I can get Frank to do one of these, and maybe I can get Monty to do one of these. As of now, really appreciate you. Really appreciate your time. Hope everybody's staying safe and staying healthy. And we'll see you soon, all right? If you can't be good, be good at it.